Welcome back to some more PGL4, and in this part number 5, I almost forgot to say the part number, but whatever. Part number 5, we're gonna be doing another vehicle-only event. This is to cars only. Class G cars. It's called Horses for Courses, and this is a judging by my mind, this is will be a corn event. And let me go off a little bit of explanation. Why is this a car only event when there's Class G? It's because there is actually no bikes for Class G. They didn't produce any bikes for Class G though. There was only cars for Class G. So I guess this is why. But I shouldn't consider this a cars only event if there's just gonna be one class that doesn't have any bikes. Anyways, I'm done with the rant. First event was gonna be a cone sprint challenge for one lap at one of the Macau track Instituto Politécnico. Overcast weather as well. And we only I'm surprised that we have all the cars for Class G unlocked. This is the slowest car ever, the Mini Cooper S. Although it says that it's produced by Austin Cooper, but you know, whatever. I'm gonna actually drive with the Mazda MX-5, so, cause I like this car. We produced an NC MX-5, and I'm gonna go with black color, cause looks more cool then. Alright, here we go, silver. Oh, it was that was a major kilo difference here. Whatever, let's just go ahead and do this. So for this cone spin, we gotta complete the course to the cone gates in less than 2 minutes and 54 seconds. Yeah, wait, Class G. This is Class G, the slowest car class ever. And stuff, yeah. Just wanted to say, alright. Here we go. Oh, this car does a good, you know. His tires marked at the start of the event, so that's pretty cool. Alright, so, yeah. This is also a good handling car. It says it's the best performance car out of the entire car class. Yeah. Not car classes, but, you know, Class G, you know. I can already tell that this is not, the Guia circuit. I'll let you know when we get there. Also, I memorized, you know, the, arcade mode. Not all the events, but, you know, what classes of vehicles it requires is gonna let you drive. There was actually, of course, for the 2 years only, the Class B bikes does repeat itself in the next chapter though. And there's actually two other chapters that repeat classes A and E. So yeah. We'll be able to get to those eventually. But you know, I can tell you that one of the repeating chapters is not the last chapter. Thank goodness for that though. It's exactly 10 chapters, and I can tell you that the last chapter in arcade mode of this game, it is the longest / toughest challenges ever. But it's depending on what, you know, what goals you set on and stuff. But still, if you're doing hardcore for the last chapter, you're gonna be having more of a tough time than the rest of the other chapters and stuff. So, with the slow car class that we have here, these challenges might be short too. Well, at least, you know, they're trying to make it short. So far, I'm making it perfectly, but I got a minute left before I can before the timer runs out. And that bike race at Macau in the last chapter, I can already tell that, you know, that track wasn't one either because the Guia circuit in race 4 did not go under a tunnel. Oh, whoa, the car got loose though. Almost there. And half a minute to spare. Would you look at that? Half a minute to spare. Alright, so that's the first event for Horses for Courses down. No time penalties necessary. We're gonna go to our next event, which is gonna be a super cone sprint. Ooh, this is new. I can definitely tell you what the Super Cone Sprint is about. It's like the Cone Sprint, but it takes place at a Super Cone Sprint exclusive tracks called, Sprint 1 in St. Petersburg. For one lap in overcast weather. Not necessarily, the same, not necessarily that the weather or lap counter doesn't have to do anything, but there's two Super Cone Sprint tracks, which is Sprint 1 and Sprint 2, that is only exclusive to Super Cone Sprint only in St. Petersburg and in the challenge itself. You cannot access to this track for a custom match though. You really can't. This is only exclusive. And I think that the only penalties you get is when you come is that, they already have a Super Cone Sprint, track laid out for you. It's a track surrounded by cones, and I think that you get the penalties if you go out of the track itself, or if you hit the cones. I think that's the penalties, but I never got a penalty before. And since these tracks are very short, it can give you a short amount of time in order to pass this challenge. So yeah, that was a great explanation for this challenge while I was doing it entirely. Next one would be a cone attack. Gotta hit 120 cones. It would be at the Shanghai track, Shanghai Old Town, 1 lap, clear weather. Like it's possibly, a Shanghai town that's been here for like decades. Yeah, decades. I was about to say centuries, but I should say otherwise. Because of good math. Alright, here we go. Let's set some cones again. I can tell you that cone attacks for bikes are more difficult because cars, have bodies that are bigger than bikes. With bikes, you would have to, if you're going to the cone line, you would have to carefully go over it. I mean, it doesn't make your bike fall, but you just have to carefully go in that straight line for the cone line and stuff. Bowling pins weren't that tough, but they take away some that has been, knocked down by the bike and stuff. Oh, the timer's going down. We gotta hit more cones real quick. Just 7 more. And there we go. Just the exact amount and with just 20 seconds to spare. There we go, 120 cones. Next event is possibly gonna be a bit of a cycle. As our next one is another cone sprint, as we got a complete course in less than 9 seconds. At the London track, oh, this is our first London event, I just realized that. At the track White House Straits, 1 lap clear weather. I was just thinking about something else. I don't know. Also, one thing I forgot to mention, this just came out of my mind, is that the point-to-point tracks that you see in PGR 3, many of them, the point-to-point track system in this game is not real. It's been taken away. But there are some point-to-point tracks that survived and got into this game. It's just that the developers used those tracks they edited the tracks and created them as new circuit tracks. They basically remixed those tracks. So yeah, Tokyo is going to be the most obvious city that you recognize for point-to-point tracks, and that's fine. It's really fine. This is why they place the point-to-point tracks with other circuit tracks that you see in the game and stuff. This wasn't really difficult, I could say the least. That was a good power slide that car is made. And there we go. Just 2 events to go. No time penalty, of course. Our next event is actually gonna be, of course, a cone attack. 90 cones at the Shanghai track, due for loop, 1 lap clear weather. Yep, I expected this cycle to be different. They just swapped the cone attack and the super cone spin around, cause, yep. There's 2, super cone spin tracks in St. Petersburg that we're going to be going to. Let's race. Gotta hit 90 cones now. Hey, I hit 10 exactly. That was a good kudos earned by Burnout. It's almost getting to the point. Okay, that was hitting the wall, but I did not waste my kudos, which is fine very strange though. Hey, 90 coins, there we go. Yep, I can say that this part only took a short amount of time. It's gonna be around 15 minutes. Yep, the last event for this chapter is Super Cone Sprint. Gotta complete Sprint 2, which is slightly longer. Oh, we're gonna be driving on icy weather. So, the roads is gonna be slippery, but not very... But, wet is, puddles can be slippery and stuff for the tires, but ice is gonna be more slippery than, puddles and stuff. This is what, how it looks like in, when it snows in St. Petersburg. It has, still those, the icy fog that's in the city and stuff. But, the icy weather is just, the road is just icy and slippery. It's most likely that your car is gonna, drift around and spin. Oh, it looks like it's snowing already. What do you know? Yep, the car's drifting. There we go, yeah. That's what we can say about icy weather. And also, it's snowing right now. You can see the snow in the area. And, the windshield wiper is going. So yeah, this part only took a short amount of time. That in itself, we are now halfway there through arcade mode, and I think the final 5 chapters are also going to be longer than the first 5 chapters. Control wires and stuff. I'm using, of course, a USB controller. So yeah. Alright, so final 5 chapters. Here we go. Alright everyone, thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a very good night.